So today in this video, I'll be going over how to find secondary sources for your Unit Project 2 assignment in English 111. To get us started, I just want to go over briefly what is a secondary source. A secondary source is going to be an analysis, an interpretation, or a summary of different events, different people. It's not going to be a first-hand account. It's going to pull from a variety of sources to create a narrative, to create an argument, an interpretation. So that's how you distinguish it from a primary source, and that's why a lot of scholarly articles that you find in library databases are going to be secondary sources and are going to be very helpful for you on this part of your assignment. So to get to our databases, you're going to go from the college homepage to Services and Support in the black navigation bar and click on Library and Open Lab. You'll scroll down until you get to the gray boxes, and you can go to our databases through a couple different ways. You can go to A to Z database list, which will list out all of the databases we have to offer, and you can navigate that way. Or you can go to our LibGuides and look for your class LibGuide. These are going to be curated by our staff for your assignment needs in your specific classes, and so this is a great way to know that you're accessing the right databases for your assignment. These are going to be alphabetized, so you just scroll down until you get to the E's and click on English 111. From here, you'll click on the Find Sources tab, and then you'll see the box that says Access Articles and eBooks. These are different databases and resources that we have for various assignments across all English 111 courses at Blue Ridge. So I'm going to tell you that I recommend you start with ProQuest Central for this part of your Unit Project 2 assignment. Access to ProQuest is immediate when you're on a Blue Ridge campus, but once you're off campus, you will need to use your Blue Ridge username and password. It's the same one you use for accessing my courses. And that will get you access when you're off campus. So the reason ProQuest is a great place to do your secondary source research is because it is a database of databases. It has dozens of databases that link in, and so it searches across all of them at the same time, and you're really going to get the best results for your search queries from a singular search in ProQuest Central that you can then filter down later. It searches a variety of subjects, and so you're able to get a lot of different perspectives on the same search terms at once. So my field is already set for sports medicine. I'm going to say that that is the issue that I am researching for my assignment, and I make sure that full text is always checked. This is the default, but you always do want to make sure it's checked because that pulls all the full text available articles, and it's not going to just be a summary, it will be the full text if that is checked. So because ProQuest pulls from so many different databases, you do get a lot of search results in the beginning, especially if you haven't already narrowed your search questions down. So what you do is you use the filters on the left-hand side to sort by different source types, by publication date, by location, by language, by company. You can also go down to the database level to make it only pull from a singular database if you would like. And so all of these will help you narrow your search questions down, your search terms down, into a more targeted result for your assignment. So I'm going to say that I only want to look at scholarly journals, and I only want peer-reviewed. So that tells me that other experts have vetted the information that's in these journals. I'm really interested in looking at the last 20 years of research in the topic, but you can expand and contract that as you need. If you're wanting older sources, you can do that. This bar graph just lets you narrow and expand your date ranges as you need for your assignment. I also recommend setting United States as your location that's being studied. This makes so the information that's being studied, the data that's being pulled, the demographics that are being looked at are primarily being pulled from the US. It doesn't always catch all of the articles that are coming from outside the US, but it definitely narrows it down to where you're not getting as many sources that are on a global perspective. So once you find an article that you're interested in using, you go ahead and click on it, and it gives you the full text in ProQuest. You can also download a PDF copy of the article so that you have it for later. You can create a My Research profile within ProQuest Central. That's completely free, and that lets you create folders for different assignments and different classes, and you can keep all of your articles and all of your research separate and organized, and you're not having to dig through a dozen tabs to figure out which article was for which assignment. You're not having to worry about your computer crashing or shutting off unexpectedly and losing all of your research that you've done. That just saves it for you, and it saves you a headache for later. You can also navigate through the different links around the authors and the publisher. That way you're doing your due diligence as a researcher, you're checking credibility, you're checking for bias, you're doing all of those checks to make sure you're using the strongest and most reliable secondary source for your assignment, because with secondary sources, there is a perspective, there is a narrative that's being constructed. They're making an argument oftentimes within a secondary source because they're providing their interpretation of the data of the primary sources. And so doing your due diligence to check who's writing it, why are they writing it, these links can help you with that vetting process. You can also cite from in ProQuest Central, so if you click on that, it generates a citation for you. Always be sure to double check it to make sure it is following the proper style guides, but they are usually pretty good, and so this is just a very helpful tool for you when you're doing your research. If you're ever getting frustrated or you feel like you're hitting a brick wall and you just aren't finding what you're looking for, please reach out to the library. You can email us at library@blueridge.edu, and you can also on the library homepage scroll down to the very bottom, and we have this Ask a Librarian chat feature. It's a 24/7 feature, so it doesn't matter when you need to chat with us. There will be a librarian who is staffing that somewhere in the world for you. I hope this has been helpful. Good luck on your assignment.